Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the end of year book tag that I have seen floating around on BookTube recently. Now that we are coming to the end of September, going into October, I can't believe it's almost the end of 2019 already. My mind is blown. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. The first question for this tag is any books that you have started and need to finish? No, I actually don't start books and kind of put them aside half done. If I do that, it's usually just because it's a DNF'd book and I'm not planning on ever coming back to it. So no, I don't have any kind of half finished books floating out there that I have to pick back up and finish. So moving on. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? Yes. When I think of fall, I associate it with Halloween and kind of the spooky season, especially this year because Thanksgiving this year is so much later than usual, I feel like. So really the fall holiday, in my opinion, is Halloween. So to kind of celebrate that Halloween season, I am going to be reading Final Girls by Riley Sager, which I feel like will be a very creepy thriller that I've heard such great things about. And I'm also really hoping to get to It by Stephen King. This is a humongous book though, so wish me luck. Hopefully I can get to this. But these two books I feel like really just embody the Halloween spirit, if you will. So very excited. The next question that I have is there a new release that you're still waiting for? Absolutely. I am waiting very patiently, sort of, for The Toll by Neal Shusterman. This is the third and final book in the Scythe series, which is probably my favorite young adult fantasy series of all time. Scythe and Thunderhead are so incredible. If you have not picked them up yet, please do. I've talked about those two books on probably every one of my videos that I've uploaded, so I won't go on about them here. They're just amazing, so please pick them up. And the second book I'm really looking forward to is Call Down the Hawk by Maggie Stiefvater. This one is a spin-off of one of the characters from the Raven Boys series, and it's one of my favorite characters from that series, Ronan, that we're following in Call Down the Hawk. So I'm so excited about this one. I can't wait to follow more Ronan. So those two books are probably the top two that I'm looking forward to for the remainder of the year. The next question, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? And this would probably be, I'm going to say It again by Stephen King, but then one of my 19 must-read books of 2019 that I put on my list was The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne. I've just heard such great things about it. It's very, very highly rated on Goodreads. I believe it was Book of the Month's Best Book of the Year award a couple years ago. It's an adult contemporary, which seemed to be some of my favorites, especially this year. I've just been really finding great contemporary reads that I've been loving, so hopefully this one I can get to before the end of the year. And then I would say the third book would probably have to go to King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. I would really like to get to this. I love Leigh Bardugo's writing, love the Grisha trilogy, love Six of Crows, and I loved Nikolai from the Grisha trilogy, so I'm very excited to pick this up. I can't believe I have it already, but it's just one of those that, you know, you keep putting off because you just have so many other books and you're like, how am I not going to that? So that's this one. So hopefully I get to it, probably not next month, but either November or December. The next question is there a book that could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? I hope that any book I read can shock me and become an instant favorite. Why else would we read the books? You know, if we don't think that we'll love them and they'll be one of our favorites. The one that I think has the best chance is probably the Heart's Invisible Furies, just because of the reviews out there and kind of the genres that I've been really gravitating towards right now has been adult contemporary, which is strange because I would consider myself more of a fantasy reader. I typically love fantasy books and like getting into a totally different world and Sanderson, and I love Game of Thrones, all that. So it's weird that I would kind of find that these contemporaries are some of my top 10. So I don't know. Maybe I like contemporaries more than fantasies. I don't know, but I would still consider myself a fantasy reader. Is that weird? That's probably weird. Have you started making reading plans for 2020? Kind of. So I've been starting to scope out some of the 2020 releases that I'm getting excited about and kind of making a new Goodreads shelf for some of those books that are coming out next year. But beyond that, I haven't really done any planning. I think really the only thing I'm going to do is, like I did this year with the 19 must-read books in 2019, I'll do that same thing for 2020 and do 20 must-read books of 2020. I haven't solidified that list yet, but I definitely plan on doing that same kind of idea, just to make sure I'm catching up on like things that have been on my TBR for a very long time. I'm like, okay, this year is the year, you gotta read it. So hopefully that works out. And then I always keep my, well, I haven't always in the past, but from this point forward, I'm always going to keep my Goodreads reading challenge goal at 60 books, because that is 5 books a month, and if I am hitting 5 books a month, I am proud of myself. I know that, you know, some of the readers out there can read 10s and 15 books in a month. If I'm reading 5, I'm proud of myself. So I like keeping my reading goal at 60 because I know I can hit it. And if I go above that, awesome, all the better. But I don't want to like stress myself out for it. So that's the only planning I've done in 2020. So those are the questions from the end of your book tag. I'd love to know some of your answers. Have you started making reading plans for 2020 yet? What are some books that you're looking forward to for the remainder of the year? I'd love to know, so leave some comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I release new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes even more if I have reviews to release. So thank you so much for watching. Happy reading, and until next time, bye!